Hello Nashe, and welcome to the Grumpy Witch tag that started by Roller Derby Witch, and those are the questions, 10 questions that about stuff that makes me grumpy as a witch. As a compensation for me not completing the YouTube Pagan Challenge. Okay, do you have a least favorite time of the year magically? Well, I can tell you that in Israel, Midsummer, Lunasa, all those couple of holidays that are supposed to be all nice and fun in Germany and everywhere else is kind of cancelled a lot. And those are the times where you stay home and you relax in the air conditioner. There is no house in Israel, unless it's extremely poor, that does not have an air conditioner. As you see, I just came back from my daily walk because, I do those for my health. I do 6 kilometers a day. And I'm all water, so forgive me, but I hate summer. And magically during summer, I'm usually tired, I'm usually pissed. But then again, this is a great time for concoctions and staying in, and herbs dry quickly. So, it has its merits, but basically, in a way, Israeli nature closes during summer. We don't go out because of the scorpions and the snakes and the fact that you can get dehydrated really quickly in this horrible hit. Second question, is there a herb you don't like working with or never seems to work in your practice? Well, I'm a worshipping of the gods of herbs of Sani, so all the herbs work for me in a sense, but I really hate working with tobacco. Now, I know as someone that practices ATR tradition and some brujeria and some Santeria magic, and Voodoo, not smoking a cigar at my working is considered to be fluffy bunny, and yet just touching tobacco gives me a rash. So I try to touch it very seldomly, and I use it only when I really have to. And if there is a cigar smoking in that practice, I grab one of my smoking friends to do that for me. Really don't like tobacco. Doesn't work for me so much. Okay, is there a stone or a crystal that you don't like working with or never seem to add anything to your practice? Well, it's kind of a funny story, and I'll tell it shortly. What happened is that since Israel is such a tiny country, and since crystal magic is not such a common thing here, at least not originally, when it was practiced, it was like a few crystals that were local or had their own thing. But sometimes during the 80s of the State of Israel, a very prominent crystal merchant brought crystals here that she thought were important. And she decided for some weird fucked up reason that black tourmaline was the most protective stone on earth. And she recommending those as protection from exploding terrorists, and protection on houses against missiles during the intifadas. And everybody is using them. They're being used to death. But black tourmaline is not a crystal that reacts to everybody very well. If you're a person that tends to be of whimsy, or if you're a person that tends to enjoy chaos, that crystal is most definitely not going to work for you. So, I made it my point not to use that crystal. I would go black onyx instead of it, or my favorite jet, but I never really go and use black tourmaline all the time like everybody else in Israel seems to do. Okay, next. Is there something that bothers you about your deity or your practice? Well, nothing bothers me about my deity, Hecate, besides the fact that there isn't enough supporting myths that survive till this current day that we can learn more about her character, behavior, and essence. We have a lot of philosophy written about her, but really not so much about, why is she the way she is, what place she has in the cosmology. There's so many stories about Zeus and Hades and the 12 gods, and even, other minor deities, but not enough about her. We only have, her story about how she stole that makeup jar from Hera. We only have that story about how she fought against that giant that Gaia sent against her. And of course that story that she's a supportive character in her most famous story in The Kidnap of Persephone. And this bothers me. I would like more stories about her. Okay, what do you do when a spell doesn't work? Well, I accept that nature thought better. And I wouldn't say it doesn't disappoint me, it doesn't make me feel bad. It makes me feel bad. I don't get angry so much, but sometimes nature has better plans, and many times when a spell doesn't work for me or for someone else, it's because of a good reason. So I trust the deities to fix the problem up. Have you ever done a meditation or astral work that did nothing to you? Astral work, when I get to the astral work, it does something. It always does something. But meditation is not something that's supposed to give you quick results. So sometimes you do meditation and you don't get what you need. So, maybe they're talking about visualizations. I don't like visualizations so much. I think that people are overusing them. So no visualizations for me. Is there an element that just doesn't work for you? Fire element didn't used to work for me, and then I worked hard and I gave a few years of my life learning how to work with it, and now it works for me just fine. So no. How do you get out of your witchy rut? Well, life. Life gives me so many challenges. People give me so many challenges. I can't really do the same all the time. The different seasons give me different herbs to practice with. The different shipments of crystals that comes to Israel gives me other quality of items to work with. I never, I don't think I have a witchy root so much. And there's always something to do in my little witchy house that has to be done. So, every time I do something different. For instance, when I make Eshu incense, I worship Eshu as part of my daily devotions every day, 7 days a week. And he has his incense that he likes. Now, in that incense there is tobacco, and see above the second question. I don't like tobacco, but sometimes there is tobacco he likes more, sometimes there is tobacco he likes less. There are brands of tobacco that are sometimes available and sometimes not available. Just hunting for the proper tobacco for Eshu is like an adventure. And that incense has like 14 ingredients, so that's just, one of the things. Okay, how do you deal with life getting in the way of your practice? Well, I got to the point in my life that my life is the practice. It never gets away in my practice. So, the wrong question to ask me. When do you have all this negative feeling about your practice? What do you do? I don't have negative feelings about my practice. Obviously, I came to a very comfortable place in my practice that gives me enough variation, enough adventure to like it enough. And, I like everybody, I sometimes have dark nights of the souls, but, the spirits, the deities, and the energy gets me out of it. But, I think that every emotion has a purpose, so I don't really believe in negative energy and negative emotions. I think that there are sometimes misplaced energies and misplaced emotions, and one has to learn how to deal with them. So I deal with them. I don't just let it simmer. I process things very quickly. I'm my element is the element of air, so things gets in, things gets out. I can be upset for a day, the next day I can be fine. So, dealing is part of what we do. Okay. So this is my my witchy tag, and please enjoy YouTube, and I hope to be back in a greater capacity in the near future. Goodbye and ashe.